Okay, so this is the second part of Jose. Sorry, Jose Born to Dance. We left off on page two. Sorry about that. 294. Okay, he was feeling discouraged. He didn't. He remember he moved all the way to New York, and he was trying to find his talent as an artist, and he was kind of struggling. So at the bottom of 294, it says one day Jose's friend Charlotte invited him to a dance concert. The dancer twisted his body and leapt into the air. Okay, so now I'm on 295. Okay, the dance lit a fire in Jose's soul. Ideas exploded into his mind. Do not want to remain on this earth unless I could learn to do what this man is doing, he said. So this performance had a really strong effect on him. A few days later, Jose stepped into the dance studio for the first time. As soon as the pianist began to play, the sound of music carried Jose away. He swooped, he stretched, he swirled, and then he flew. Ah, I embraced the dance. Okay, 296. From then on, Jose took classes from teachers Doris Humphrey and Charles Wiedemann nearly every day. Dripping with sweat, he struggled with his stiff and stubborn body, and at night he hobbled home, his muscles sore and aching. 6 weeks later, he made his debut, performing for the first time. As he waited to go on stage, he felt shy and nervous. All those people in the audience would be watching him. But once he heard the thundering applause, his spirits lifted. That night, I tasted undreamed of exhalation, humility, and triumph, he said. Ankles and feet, knees and hips, chest and arms, head and neck, up and down, back and forth, in and out, Jose Limon became a dancer. For 11 years, Jose studied and danced with Doris and Charles. He learned to make his muscles sing. He learned to move his bones in every which way. He learned how to float and fly through space in steps as smooth as silk. He learned to be fierce like a bullfighter, Oli, strong like a soldier, uno, dos, and proud like a king, pum. He learned to make dances sweet as bird song, Trilla wheat, hot as desert sun, si, sad as broken dreams, O Sonder, loving as a mother's lullaby floating on a Mexican breeze, Sora, so. In time, Jose became a world-famous choreographer and toured the globe with his own dance company. For 40 years, with bare feet and broad shoulders, he graced the concert stage. From New York to Mexican City and London to Buenos Aires, he danced for presidents and for princesses, builders and bricklayers, bankers and bus drivers, fiddlers and firemen. And each night before the curtain rose, he whispered to himself, "Make me strong so I could give. Bravo, bravo, bravo." Okay, that was a good, pretty inspiring story. He had to work really hard at what he wanted. If you remember at the beginning of today's reading, it said something about his stubborn body, like he had to train his body to be a dancer because he wasn't used to it. So he really had to work really hard at what he wanted, but he knew what he wanted, and he became world famous. So it was a happy ending for him. Okay. What we're talking about today for our Dig Deeper on page 300 is the author's purpose. I've told you guys throughout the school year and even, past years, that an author, whoever's writing, has a purpose, okay? Whether it's to persuade you of something, to buy something or believe something, or they're just giving you information. They're just interested in the topic and they want to give you information. It could be to entertain. So always keep in mind, what is this writer thinking? What's his purpose for writing this text, okay? So you should be self-aware of what you're reading, what the purpose is of whoever wrote what you're reading, okay? So I'm going to read under author's purpose. It says, Jose, Born to Dance, is about a famous dancer and choreographer. What do you think the author's purpose or reason was for writing this biography? Does she want to entertain, to inform, or to persuade? To answer these questions, think about how the author seems to feel about Jose Limon. Note the particular points the author makes about Jose and how he reacts when what happens to him. Notice the reasons and evidence the author uses to support her ideas. You could use text evidence to help you identify the author's purpose and how the author supports it. Look back at page 294 and 295. What details does the author use to describe the dancer and tell what Jose thought? Okay, so let's go back to page 294 and 295. Okay, I'm not going to read it over, but the author really makes a point that Jose was miserable working at a factory, and he really wanted to find his talent, okay? He was a struggling artist, so I believe the author has a lot of respect for that, okay? And he believes that it was worthwhile for Jose to pursue his dream, okay? He talks about how spiritual on page 295 it was for Jose, how passionate he was about dance. It says the dance lit a fire in Jose's soul. Ideas exploded in his mind. Okay, so he fell in love with dance. He found his passion. Okay, so I think it's pretty obvious what the author's purpose is. Your job is to find. So the author's purpose is to basically, I think, persuade the reader how great the arts are. Okay, and how much he loves the art of dance as well. The details you have to find throughout the text, like I just read. The dance lit a fire in Jose's soul. That's a good detail, okay? That shows that Jose's passionate about dancing, and the author is as well, okay? So you could look through the text, find 3 details that supports the author's purpose, okay? Hope you like the story, and thanks for watching.